Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Capitalize Your Best Real Estate Marketing Podcast. This is actually episode number 1. Last week was episode 0, and I called it episode 0 because really just explaining the purpose and what we hope to do. But let me introduce myself because some of you guys are brand new to the podcast. My name is Gordon Duncan. I'm the owner of Capitalize Marketing and Consulting, where we help you capitalize on what you do best so you can grow your revenue, serve your clients, and hit your goals. And we have been incredibly blessed over the last 2 years to work even more and more in the real estate industry. We've had some involvement with them for years and years, but something about the last 2 years, you can see what it is, it's the industry, has given us more opportunities to speak at area associations, builders associations, write, and then work intimately with mortgage, real estate agents, realtors, and title, and even investors on growing their marketing to hit their revenue goals and serve their clients. So in light of that, we've launched the Capitalize Your Best Real Estate Marketing Podcast. So thank you. This is technically our first episode where we're going to do what we do, and that's share marketing tips and strategies to help you do all those things. Along the way, we are going to have some guests, and I've already got a few of them lined up, but right now I want to share things with you that I think are really going to push the needle for you in your marketing. Now, one thing that everybody right now is talking about, and right now is November 2023, is the interest rate. The interest rates are still high. They're in the 7s. They have been up in the 8s. And that's been the issue for so many because we had that rare unicorn experience back in 2020 where interest rates were down at like 2.25, like what would appear to be crazy numbers, and people flooded the market, and we had like a 20% increase in the value of homes, and there was incredible competition, people waiving inspections, doing so many things. The market just went crazy. Everyone enjoyed it who got in on it at that moment. But right now, when you have inflation, what the government does, one of the ways they control inflation is to increase interest rates. And so we're in the high 7s, somewhere in there. It varies depending upon your institution, but it's making it more difficult. It's slowing down the market. And so what that is that less people are jumping in. And you're seeing like a 10 to 15% decrease in the number of houses that go on the market and the number that are sold. So if you are in the market, if you are a mortgage, or if you are an agent or a realtor, it's becoming more and more difficult, forgive me for the term, to convince people to go out and buy a home. And if you have a home to sell, people aren't selling it because even though they're going to get a great number, they're like, how am I going to find a house? And they don't want to pay those numbers. Now, here's what I hear, and then I'm going to give you a tip and strategy to deal with it. Quite often, I'll be in a networking meeting or I'll be among agents, realtors, or mortgage, and they'll say something like this. Guys, you're right. Listen, right now, the interest rate's really high. It is, and we don't know where it's going to go. But, it's a good time to buy a house because you can buy the house now and you don't have as much competition. And when the rate drops, then you can just refi. Now, 100% true. That's 100% true. It really is. But quite often, people are not saying it with conviction. They're not writing about it on social media with conviction, and they're not speaking about it with conviction. And if you don't speak about it with conviction, then it's very difficult for me or your potential client to believe you. So in your marketing, this is incredibly important. In your marketing, in whether it be social media, whether it be on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, whatever the case may be, in your marketing, and especially face-to-face, you've got to be able to say those things with conviction. You yourself have to believe it, and then you have to make that literally your marketing campaign. You have to lead with that. Not just, it's bad, but now's a good time. You need to let people know that now is the time. It's a better opportunity than ever. You can hear that just slight change of intonation in my voice. You can hear the excitement behind it. The person hearing me is going to believe that there is an opportunity. And even you can write with that kind of enthusiasm. You've got to believe it. I was at a meeting with Nationwide Mortgage this week, and John Lazone was on there, and he was speaking about this very thing. He's like, you've got to practice. You've got to practice your delivery, because it's different now. And he's right. And so what we would say at Capitalize Your Best, when we were working with you in your presentation in your social media, is that we would help you identify your target client, identify how to speak to them, and then help you create content towards them. Let me give you an example. It'll be something like this. Guys, don't listen to the naysayers out there. Right now is the absolute best time to buy a home in years, because the interest rate, though it's higher than everybody wants, what that does is it eliminates a lot of the competition, and the inventory out there, there's less people fighting for it. So when you find the home you want, you can go get it, and you don't have to fight as many offers. Yes, the interest rate's a little high, but here's what happens. You then take advantage of the opportunity. You get the house you want, and historically, we know it comes down. So when it comes down, then you refi, you're in the home you want, and you're not going after the same homes everyone else is. Because if you wait, here's what happens. When the market does, when the interest rate does go down, the prices of those homes are going to go up, and there's going to be a lot more competition. So while you might have a lower interest rate in a year, you might have to pay more for that same home. So right now is the best opportunity. We can get you into the home you really want, and you can have that rate for a little bit and then refi, because the most important thing is to land the home you want. Take advantage of that now, and then when the rate goes down, you can refi. You see that, guys? That's the presentation, and you can educate that. You can be the real estate agent, you can be the realtor, you can be the mortgage lender who leads with that. Your whole campaign can be, hey, now is the best time. If you can present it with conviction, if you know your stats down, you got to know the number of homes, you got to know what they cost, you got to give expectation of what they might go to. Like Patrick Bet-David, the author of The Next 5 Moves, he was speaking at one podcast, and he said 6 months ago, he's like, we're going to have a housing crash. Well, you know what he said this past week, and it's gone viral? He's calling it a reverse crash, because he's saying, listen, when the rates go down, people are going to flood the market. And he predicted that the $900,000 house is now going to be 1.2. He's saying you could see increases of the cost of home going up 20 or 30%. You guys know these numbers. No one wants to pay 20 or 30% more for a home. The way to avoid that is to get into that home now. Yes, you can pay a higher rate, but get into that home now and then take advantage of the refi. Investors, smart investors, now is the time. You might go, I can't invest now. That rate's too high. It's going to be even harder to invest when the rates go down. So guys, no matter what your industry is, real estate, agent, realtor, mortgage lending, title, investor, wherever you are, your message must be the same, consistent. Speak to your target audience. I'm always going to come back to that. Speak to your target audience. Now is the time to buy. Give them the reasons why it's time to buy. Do it with conviction. Look into the mirror and practice what you're going to say, because a half-hearted, well, guys, the rates are high, we don't know when they're going to come down, but it's actually a good time to buy. No one's buying that sauce. It's too weak. You've got to come with energy and conviction and make that your campaign. Guys, that's our recommendation to you from Capitalize Marketing. When you are trying to present, you've got to know who you're speaking to. You got to know their needs. You got to know how you're going to meet their need, and then you have to market to it. What is everyone's need in the industry right now? Their need is to get into the house they want. Well, the only way to do that is to act now, because the house they want is going to be perhaps 20 to 30% more expensive when rates go down. I'm telling you, if rates get down into the fives, there'll be a flood of people into the market, and they're going to have a lot more competition. So that's the kind of thing we do at Capitalize Marketing. The kind of thing we do is help you identify your target client, understand their needs and their wants. We help you craft your marketing message specifically to them. We come alongside of you as an agency, support your content with created content by us. And in that way, what you guys see is you see an impact immediately. So if you're interested, just message me. You can find me on every platform at Gordon Duncan. You can find Capitalize Marketing on every platform. Just reach out to me. We'll do a 15, 30-minute check. We'll get in there with you. We can share how we can help you. We'll give you free consultation, free advice, and you will see a difference immediately. So guys, thanks so much. As always, like, share, get the word out there about the Capitalize Your Best real estate marketing podcast. I'm excited. I got to slow down and catch my breath. But guys, I have enthusiasm for your industry, and we know that we can help. Guys, can't wait until next week. See you next Wednesday. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.